afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Delta Entertainment. I am your host, Slicker Kenobi. And before we get started, guys, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Would appreciate that very, very much. All right, let's get into this. So, I came out of theater watching Fantastic Four, and I gotta say, bro, despite with the Silver Surfer's gender swap, the story that they put in there, it actually worked. It actually worked. You know, I would have preferred Norrin Radd, male Silver Surfer, than the female Silver Surfer. But in this movie, bro, in this case, this movie was all focused on family. It was focused on them being a family to try and defeat a threat and everything, bro. And I enjoyed that, bro. There were good moments and everything, and there were upset moments. But this movie was really that good, bro. Pedro Pascal, despite outside of his role, outside of Hollywood, how he's supporting transgenders, how he's showing himself as a gay person out there and everything, and which I didn't like. He's a good actor. He's a pretty good actor. He did a good job of the movie. He did not ruin the movie. I mean, the actors did a phenomenal job. Everyone. Now, I asked myself, some of these people, the producers, directors, they talked about Sue Storm being the girl boss. Now, she was being brave and tough because she was doing what she wanted to do to protect her child. You know, any mother would do the same. If you are trying to protect your child, you have to do what you have to do, you know. So, that she was doing. So, to me, this movie was good. I enjoyed it a lot and everything. So, do I say it's better than Superman? Yes, it is better than Superman. I had a better time watching this than watching Superman, to be honest. But there are elements, there is a little bit of woke element in this movie, which is all about the gender swap Silver Surfer, and there is a moment of girl bossness because of Sue Storm being a badass, you know. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. It was good. Everyone played their parts well, very well. You know, Joseph Quinn, Vanessa Kirby, Pedro Pascal, and I can't pronounce his name. Let me look it up real quick. And I apologize. Let me look up the name real quick. It won't take me long. Hold 1 second here. All right. Let's see. Ebon Moss Baccarat. He played a great job as Grimm. But he showed like a light attitude instead of an aggressive attitude. Michael Chilska's attitude in the Fantastic Four original movie and The Rise of the Silver Surfer. But the look was great. He had a good look at everything. And it was a good movie. And I enjoyed it. So, there is going to be this is my non-spoiler review. So do I give it? I give this a 4.5 out of 5. It's a 5-star review. I'll get a 4.5 out of 5 because of the woke element in this movie. But the story was good. I liked it. Now, I'm going to do a spoiler review. So if those of you that don't want to watch the spoiler review part and want to watch this movie, you guys can go. I'm giving you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. This movie starts out with Reed Richards in their Baxter building. He's looking for medication, iodine, for I don't know what reason it is. He's looking for it. Sue was in the restroom, and she did a pregnancy test showing that she's pregnant. So, she was trying to be normal. She goes to Reed Richards, getting the iodine, gives it to him, and shows her the pregnancy test. And Reed's shocked. Like, we tried this for 2 years. And we were going to give up. I thought we gave up on it. And then, of course, it happened. It happened. So, Ben and, so everybody, they were doing a little showcase, that they were going to introduce themselves and everything. after 4 years of their heroics, they showed seeds of them fighting Mole Man, the Tinkerer, I think it is, uh, the Mad Thinker, I think it was, and one of the Ape Men's, Red Ghost's Ape Man's, and they showed their miraculous abilities, what they did, and everything, and it was great. The beginning was exciting, though. I enjoyed the movie. So they do their, if you saw the trailer, they do their routine schedule that they normally do at 7 o'clock on the dot. They eat dinner and all this. So Ben and Johnny, they were prepping the food. Ben was prepping the food and everything with Herbie. So they got around the table. And Johnny was wondering where is Sue and Reed's, and they were a little late. They were like slightly late. Then Ben noticed how they were acting, so he goes immediately, "Are you pregnant?" And then of course she and Reed couldn't hide it. And then Johnny was excited, full of laughter, full of excitement that he told Sue that you are going to be the best mother. Reed, you're going to be the best dad. Just joking around, you're out of your mind. And we are going to be the best uncles ever. And that's what he said. So news came out fast that the Fantastic Four were introducing their newborn, their child coming around. And it's been months away and everything. Of course, Reed, always in the scientific area, doing his research on other galaxies far off. Johnny, on the other hand, he always likes to listen to recordings and everything. So he gets in and he tries to listen to the recordings of what Reed did. So that's that. Then they're getting ready to eat dinner and everything and all, until the threat came in. The Silver Surfer, female Silver Surfer, came down swooping in. Johnny and all the other Fantastic Four members, they went down on their ship. They went to the main square area where Silver Surfer came down, introducing herself and asking them, "Are you the protectors of this world?" And then Sue says, "Yes, we are." And then, of course, she says, "Well, prepare for your plan to be destroyed by Galactus." She waves by, whatever. She does her scene that she can go through any objects possible. And Johnny went after her, of course, because of the threat. And then he got back to normal because he was in outer space. He grabbed the board. Shia LaBeouf got close to him, giving him a language and everything. Like if she and her were connected, she and him were connected, like in love with each other. So, of course, she knocks him off the board and she takes off, disappeared. Then the Fantastic Four, they were trying to figure out what to do and everything. So he looked it up and he discovered that other planets disappeared in the solar galaxy. In their galaxy, other planets disappeared. How? They do not know yet. So they decided, all four of them decided, even if Sue Storm was pregnant, that it would not have been the best idea for her to go. But everybody decided to go. So they got their ship built, fixed it up, prepped it to get ready to go to outer space again. They wanted to meet Galactus head on and to make sure he does not destroy Earth. So they went over there, they took off in space, got into their machine for the hyperdrive to go light speed or whatever. They got there. All of a sudden, they went to another planet and they recognized that he was at the planet. Like, where is he? They noticed something was going on with the planet. And then you see a machine planet, the ship, go right through it, destroying the whole entire planet with civilization in there. They were all shocked. Of course, they flew in. Sue Storm, she turned the ship invisible, which Reed took charge, telling everybody, "All right, Ben, do this. Johnny, do that. Sue, get us invisible. Let him not make sure he don't see us." They did that. Of course, Galactus, with alarm sensors, they noticed. They stopped the ship. They couldn't do anything. So Reed said, Ben, turn off the ship. Turn it off. He turned it off. Then you see Galactus, a retinal scan, doing a scanning on everybody. And then, of course, it stopped to Sue and went down to Sue's belly, which it noticed it had a child. The Silver Surfer comes in, going through their ship, and says, Galactus will want to see you. You guys made a big mistake coming here. They went in. They walked around. Reed told Herbie to go around the area, go around the shuttle, and scan and get some life samples of Galactus. They marched forward, and they were talking to Silver Surfer a little bit, knowing more about her. Like, why is he doing this? Why is he destroying these planets? Are they chosen? No. Silver Surfer says, I chose it. And they all looked at her with shock, like, how could you do that? So then, of course, Johnny, trying to be romantic and all, he flies the Silver Surfer, not being horny and all, but he flies to her and talks with her to, like, ask her the language that you told me. What did you say? And I guess I forgot the words, but I guess he said, cherish and bless this planet well, for it will be your last. And then he asked another question. Tell me, is that board part of your body? She took off and everything. We're like, oh God. And he's like, she digs me. And then of course Ben Grimm jokes around with her. He's like, so what happened? Did she ditch you already? Oh no, we're just getting warm. We're just getting there. Oh, okay. So then Silver Surfer introduces Galactus finally. Galactus was everything that was in the comic books, bro. Amazing. Not like the Galactus that you saw in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. This Galactus was indeed powerful. But I gotta spoil it in the end for you guys because you're probably gonna be upset with this part. I was a little upset with it too, but you know, had to make a good ending out of it. So Galactus was inspired by these four that came to that planet. Like, I'm impressed you guys came here. You journeyed far. So Reed's like, we want to talk. And then Galactus is like, okay, we'll talk. But let's make a bargain. I see that you have a child on the way. And he's like, and they're both, and Reed and Sue are like, what? This child is, and the Galactus is like, this child possesses cosmic powers. I will make you a deal. I will spare your planet for this child. And Reed's like, no, we are not giving you our child. No way. And he's like, I will have that child either way. Either I destroy your planet or I just take the child. So, of course, Galactus, for some reason, somehow, he used his powers to, like, bring the child about. And Sue was like, the baby's coming, the baby's coming. Reed got Sue out right away. Johnny went into the thing and tried to destroy its tentacles that were behind his back, like fueling him up, destroyed it. And Ben and them were trying to get out of here, bro. And Silver Surfer was trying to stop Johnny from doing so. And then Ben Grimm knocked her out into the wall, and ran off and tried their best. Now, of course, Silver Surfer knocked everyone out, but Sue, during her contraction stages, stopped the Silver Surfer and threw her against the wall. And they all escaped. Ben got the ship, flew off, trying to get away from the Silver Surfer as possible. And Ben's like, I can't shake this woman, guys. We need to get her out of there. So Sue's like, Johnny, kill this woman. And Johnny's like, why? I like her. Johnny, do you want this woman to harm our baby? Harm your nephew? Kill this woman! Johnny's like, okay, fine, I'll kill the woman. He was always being in love with her. So Johnny was trying to kill her, especially when they were in their hyperdrive, hyperspace, trying to get out at the same time. But Silver Surfer is so good that she is right on them. But Johnny tried to shoot her, but the beam with that light speed was kept on dodging her. So he finally got her, but Reed Richards was trying to figure a way of how to take down the Silver Surfer. So he told Ben, go towards the black hole. I have a plan. So they went towards the black hole. Slowly, surely, their ship was a little bit tearing apart, but they were just waiting for the moment for her to get closer. And as she got closer to the black hole, they miraculously escaped while she was stuck in the black hole. And then, of course, Sue Storm gave birth to the baby. And they were all with joy and excitement, but they were also sad and scared at the same time that Galactus is coming to Earth to get their child. So they got down to they were getting ready to go on. As they were going down to the planet, Silver Surfer got out of the black hole, came to Galactus, said, I'm sorry I failed. Guys, make preparations. We're going to Earth. I will have that child. And then Shia LaBeouf was like, he's just a baby. You can't possibly. And then, of course, Galactus does his thing with his will, forcing her, do not ignore it. Do not disobey my orders. We're going to get that child. So, of course, she obeyed in the end. So, they got to the planet safely, the Fantastic Four. Everybody was joy. They were all excited, like, yay, they're here. They made it. They defeated Galactus. Yeah. And then, of course, they were getting ready for an interview. And then Reed was up at the podium giving the reporters the bad news. One of the reporters was like, so tell me, how did you beat the Galactus, man? How does it feel to beat it? And they're like, no, we didn't do it. We couldn't do anything. Yep. And Johnny's like, we couldn't do anything yet, but we will. So all the reporters like this. What? What did you guys do? Reed was like, we were trying to negotiate with him. But he gave us a bargain. In order for us to spare the planet, we had to give up our child. And then everybody's like this. So what did you do? Reed's like, he said, no, we're not giving up our child. So one reporter went out there and was like this, well, wait a minute. Are we safe? And Reed's like, I don't know. I'm sorry. So they were closing doors on their building. And then, of course, there were a little bit of riots out there saying, how could they do this? Do they not care for the people of Earth? They only care for themselves, but not for us. They need to give Galactus the child, and that's it. Like if they were thinking like, oh, they could give birth to another child. What's the problem with not giving up their child? So Reed and the others were like discussing it, talking about it. Sue was very upset with Reed, but Reed's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just assuming. I'm doing assumptions and all. But Sue is like, no, I will not give up this child for anything. So, of course, she gathered around the angry mob, went around to the middle, to the statue, while Reed, Johnny, and Ben were watching. And she gave a miraculous speech that I would do anything for my child, as you all would do the same. We will protect this world as a family. We must work together in order to defeat him. Just to remember that, just to put a playback, rewind back. Sue Storm was also in the Senate discussing peaceful treaties with Mole Man. Mole Man was one of them that Mole Man will not disturb the top area unless he builds his own subterranean where he is left alone and everybody's up there not bothering him. All that. So I forgot to mention that part. Okay. And that was earlier in the movie. So, okay. Then Reed, he figured it out. He figured a way how to save Earth and their child. There was a device that Reed built during the movie. It was called a bridge, a teleportation device. He tested it on a small egg, and put it on a device that it could go from one end to the other end. Like I said, teleportation device. So he asked the people of the world that if we could build these teleportation devices all around the world, I can power the device and make sure that we will be teleported miles, light years away from Galactus. That it will take Galactus millions of years to get here. To get to Earth, to take the child, and to destroy Earth. It would have succeeded if it weren't for the Silver Surfer. So the Silver Surfer was destroying every single device. But before that, Johnny was trying to figure out the recordings, the language that she was talking about, because all that language was her. And not just her, but the people that were blessing her with her sacrificing herself to saving her own planet. But he understood other languages that other planets were destroyed because of her choice of choosing a planet to destroy. So he was like trying to figure out how to stop her. But they were all focusing on trying to save the planet. So Silver Surfer, fast forward, was destroying all the bridge devices except for the last one that was in their territory. Johnny stopped her. And as Johnny was getting her out of the city, he touched his watch and broadcast her voice recording of her language all around the teleprompter screens in the city. And she was looking at them, being distracted. All of a sudden, they had a conversation. And he told her that he spoke the language a little bit and said, I know who you are, Shalla-Bal. So tell me, you sacrificed yourself into serving him to save your planet. And she's like, yes, I did. All right. Your planet got lucky. But what about everyone else? Which he broadcasted, all those lives are gone because of your choices of what you've done. I am trying to save my planet. I am trying to help my family save our planet while you are destroying others. And she felt guilty and she flew out in the daytime, at night in the sky. And Johnny's like, take me. Take me instead. Not her. Not my nephew. And she's like, I'm sorry. It's not your choice to make. It's not your choice. If your nephew was old enough, he would have made that choice. But no. It's not your choice. I'm sorry. Just get your child out as far away as you can. That's it. So, everyone was grateful. Ben, Reed, and Sue were grateful that Johnny stopped her from destroying the last bridge. But Reed was like upset, like, damn it, we were close. Which they were close to getting their planet safe. Which the only plan to do is to bring Galactus to them. To not them, but to their son. Sue was like angry at this, but she knew that he was right. Johnny and Ben were like disagreeing, like, I don't think that's not a good idea. That's a terrible idea. And Sue's like, yes, I agree. It's a good idea. She disappeared. She took Franklin, which that's the baby's name, for a walk into the middle of the square. Reed was out there too, and they were discussing it. They didn't like the plan, but they had no choice. And they said, Reed's like this: if we can get his ship, if we can get him separated from his ship, he will come. We will lure the baby into the open. And then when Galactus gets this close to the child, we're just gonna push the bridge device and activate it and get him and put him light years away from us. And we will be protected. Our planet will be safe. And they were all confident enough, but they were worried about the buildings because the buildings had people, of course. So Sue Storm had an idea. She brought Mole Man into the Baxter building, which Reed, Johnny, and Thing did not like very well, but Mole Man trusted Sue more than he trusted the others. But Sue and Mo had a talk and says, okay, I'll do it. So Mole Man decided he chose to get up in the outside world and bring them down to Saturnia, so that way the people will be safe on the underground, while the Fantastic Four defeat Galactus. And so they got everything prepped. Everyone was ready. They knew the plan. They got Franklin ready, put him in the middle of the bridge area. Everyone is in position. Reads like this: everyone get in your positions right now. Hurry up. So Sue was in position. Ben was in position. Johnny was in position. And so was Reed. So Galactus, you finally see him jumping from the ship, from the portal, getting in the water, walked into the land, and getting ready to get the child. As he walked in, he saw the child, got close and close and close. As soon as he was close enough to seeing the child, the Fantastic Four moved in. Sue used her power to get his face close, open his eyes, while Johnny blinded him. And Reed grabs the baby, their child, and swaps it with an empty one. And Johnny takes Franklin far away to the Baxter building where he'd be safe with Herbie. Then they got there. Reed was ready to activate that device as soon as he got into position. As soon as he did, Galactus stopped and he saw what they were trying to do. And they looked at him and he's like, clever bugs. So he looked around again to find Franklin. And he found him in the Baxter building. So the Fantastic Four, of course, they did what they do best. Stopped Galactus to save the world. So Johnny and Ben were trying to fight it off. They were doing their best. Couldn't get him. Reed, he did what he could in his part. He got a sharp spike katana, went up to his back, and opened up the holes where normally the tentacles will go there to feed in his back. Opened one up, hurted him. Tried to open the other one up. Galactus grabbed him, and you could see him smirking with a smile and stretching Mr. Fantastic so bad he almost got killed. And then of course Johnny was getting Ben ready to do his cannonball, but Johnny's like, "Come on, Ben, what time is it?" Ben's like, "No, I don't want to do it." "What time is it, Ben?" "I don't want to say it, Ben. I don't want to say it, Johnny." "What time is it?" "It's clobber time!" And that was it. Bombed Galactus right into the chest area. Reed fell, and then the other guys fell. But it wasn't enough. Galactus got the child, and was getting ready to do his part, Sue, with so much anger, she used her power, her invisibility force field power, and pushed him back. Pushed him so hard. Reed's like, stop, you're doing too much. And she's like, go get our child, go. Being the girl boss a little. That's the part where she's being the girl boss. And then Reed's realizing he's leading her towards the bridge. Johnny, get to the controls. Ben, destroy some buildings. Because Galactus was holding on to some buildings because he's realizing that she's powerful enough, which I don't understand. How can Galactus be weakened by Invisible Woman's powers? He shouldn't be resisting on that. Which, of course, in the movie, that's what he's doing. He's being so resistant that her powers is pushing him right towards the portal. She's using every ounce of her strength to push him and push him and push him towards the bridge. So when he got in position to the bridge and Reed was getting ready to grab the child, Johnny flipped the switch, the bridge portal opened, and Reed got the baby in time and everything, and Galactus disappeared for a moment. Ben was like, it's working. Then Galactus was getting ready to come back. Johnny was about to make a sacrifice move to make sure that Galactus doesn't get in there by sacrificing himself. As he was about to do that, Charlotte Ball comes in the end, bumps Johnny off, and sacrifices herself to push him towards the bridge. And the portal closed, and that was it. The Fantastic Four literally saved the day, but Sue almost died. She was nearly into her deathbed. Reed did CPR to try to revive her, and everybody was sad. Even Franklin was sad, and he was reaching out for her like he wanted to hug her and everything. And Franklin, he did, but miraculously brought her back to life, which Franklin, obviously, he has cosmic powers, but it looks like he has the ability to bring people back to life, which I do need to know more about Franklin's powers. Now, I know in the comic books they did get two children. There were two children that they got. Not one, it was two. So, anyways, let's move forward. The people were celebrating that the Fantastic Four did it. They celebrated that they were victorious. They defeated Galactus. They were safe once again. Then, in the end of the movie, before they were ready again to do their broadcast again, their showcase, they had an emergency and they had to leave. But the funniest part was they were trying to get the baby car seat into the vehicle so then the baby wouldn't fall. And all three of them, Johnny, Richards, and Ben, were trying to get the car seat in there, bro. And they were arguing against each other, and they finally got it. So they took off, and that was it. The movie ended. Then there was a scene, a cut scene, that hinted that Doomsday is coming up. Sue was reading to his child, Franklin, of a storybook. But Franklin was like in his age, like I think he was 4 years old, I believe, like 4 years old. And she was walking away from the desk for a minute to get some books to read. And then she saw Franklin touching the face of Dr. Doom with his mask off. And then that was it. And then there was another credit scene that showed the cartoon commercial of the Fantastic Four going against Red Ghost. And that was it. That was it, basically. But that's it. That's the end of the movie. Now, that is the spoiler review. Now, I know that you're probably going to be watching the non-spoiler review, but I did give you 5 seconds to get ready to exit out of the spoiler review part. But like I said, I liked it, the movie, better than Superman. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 because I did not like the woke elements they put in the movie, but it actually worked out for it. It's one of the best Marvel movies out there. It's one of the best Marvel movies they put out there, bro. Better than any of the Marvel shows they put out there, and better than Thunderbolts, better than Captain America. And then what was the other movie that they put out there? Was there another Marvel movie they put out there? Dude, I think I forgot about it. I think I forgot about the movie already. What was that other one? It was Thunderbolts, Captain America, Brave New World. Was there something in between? I'm trying to think whether there was something in between. Was there something in between? I don't think there was something in between. Anyways, like I said, dude, out of all the Marvel movies that they had out there after 2020 and everything they had in TV shows, this by far was the best. This was by far their best movie, man. So now, question is it going to do well in the box office? To me, I believe it's going to do better than Superman. We shall see. So that's going to be it for my review of the Fantastic Four First Steps. You guys let me know in the comments what you guys think. So please, by all means, share this video, post a comment below, let me know your thoughts. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being part of the channel. And I hope to see you guys until next time. Bye, everyone.